because the pro-government crowd seems to be, hitting the streets once again. And they are now not wanting this deal with the United States of America, saying that United States has turned into a bully and they will not allow the United States of America to dominate them, saying that they have been carrying out these demonstrations as well. And this came at a time when it comes to the IRGC's Intel chief Khademi was recently killed, and he's being now laid to rest. And the Mourners have now been slamming this deal with the United States, saying that till the time all of their leaders are not avenged, while for them this war is not over. Mayank, how are we looking at it, the Iranian side? Because many of them have come out on the streets. We saw those human chains that were also formed at power plants. They seem to be hold that very deterrence card against US and Israel.
So an interesting analysis which had been happening, and while we speak to the experts and all, they say that these operations have galvanized people, and even those forces which were against the regime, they have also got together, and they are keeping away from expressing themselves, even if they have anti-regime thought. So that has the operations which were launched by the US and Israel has done or made up change the things on ground in Iran in a different manner. And now what you see is the way people are coming out. IRGC has come out as the de facto ruling faction or other organized setup of Iran. And in a way that happens because they have continued even after the fall of the largely lots of leaders, they have been taken out by Israel and the US. Even after that, they have been able to launch operations, continue with the rule in the country. So that becomes normal that people have come out, and people had been angry in lots of ways, as we had been getting reports from there, against the kind of indiscriminate operations which were done on the people there.
So you're saying, Mayank, because carrying on the anti-government wave of the protests that began at the end of December, this seems to be that very moment that the US and Israel wanted to maximize. However, has the tables now turned as far as when it comes to, you really don't see any anti-regime protests now have been taking place in Iran, which the US has been accusing Iran of killing hundreds or thousands of its own people.
Absolutely. That's what the point is. In this case, now the country, as the voices had been brought out, stands together as far as the operations against them is going on. That's what the point is. And many of the experts and ground reports have brought this fact out, that these operations, they have acted in a way to galvanize the people, or rather suppress the voices, which even if they had some anti-regime thoughts in their mind. So all that has been obliterated, and at the present moment, people seem to be carrying out the similar. I mean, they had been made unanimous. I'm using this word, made unanimous. Even if there was a faction which was against the regime.
So US and Israel, which attempted to actually divide the people of Iran, has it now ended up uniting them? Well, that seems to be the very focus that what we are looking at. And as far as when it comes to these strikes are concerned, because that very moment, the strikes happened in Lebanon on part of Israel. Iran has continued with its strikes on the Gulf nations. And of course, the immediate response has been the closure of the Strait of Hormuz as well. Mayank, thank you very much for joining us here on the broadcast. But is Lebanon part of the truce or not? Let's listen into what the White House has to say.
Would President Trump like to see Lebanon included in this peace deal? As you know, there have been increased Israeli strikes on Lebanon today with dozens of casualties there.
Sure. Lebanon is not part of the ceasefire. That has been relayed to all parties involved in the ceasefire. As you know, Prime Minister Netanyahu put out a statement last night in support of the ceasefire, in support of the United States' efforts, and he's also assured the president they'll continue to be a helpful partner throughout the course of the next 2 weeks.
Well, it's a very fragile situation. It's a very sensitive situation. Remains to be seen from here on. As far as when it comes to the ceasefire, will it extend to at least 2 weeks than what is being said by the warring sides? We'll get you more on that back after a short break.